Hi folks, time to choose my TBR for April, the coming month, and I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'll explain a bit more about that in a while, but there's a purpose to it, and again that will become clear. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So we're going to do something a little bit different this month. I've been contemplating my shelves and thinking that there are some authors that are occupying an awful lot of shelf real estate, and that I don't know whether I should keep them or not, if they're worthy of all that space. And there are a few authors that fall into that category. So rather than select the shelves at random, I'm going to be a bit more deliberate about which books I pick for this month. So Paul Anderson is one of these authors for whom I have, maybe a foot of shelf space occupied by his books. And I've only read one. I've read, where's it gone? Tau Zero, which I did enjoy, hard science fiction classic. And there are some others that I wouldn't mind trying. Someone recommended the Star Fox to me, so maybe that will be an Avatar, supposedly good. So what's 1, 2, 3? Those are all meant to be good. 4, 5, and then just for laughs, I'll go with the Virgin Planet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see what the Dice of Destiny have in store for Paul Anderson. Dice of Destiny for Paul Anderson. 1. All right, so it's not Virgin Planet, which is a shame. It's not Trader to the Stars or The Bywelder or Orion Shall Rise or Star Fox, but it is the Avatar. And really, this is a keep or chuck exercise. So if the Avatar doesn't float my boat, then all of the Paul Anderson books, except probably Tau Zero, are for the chop. So it's a high stakes gamble. All right, so that's Paul Anderson. Who else have we got? How about Piers Anthony? I don't believe I've ever read a Piers Anthony book, and he gets mixed reports with lots of people that think he's pretty good, and he obviously shifted a lot of books back in the day, but equally a lot of people have said not worth keeping. So I don't know, I'm not even sure which ones I might like to read. Let's go with Ox, because at least it's got cool cover art. I'm not sure about the Tarot books. That's volume 1. Fractal Mode, I think, is the first one. Split Infinity, people keep saying is good to me. I don't have the first one of the Mode. I think it's either a trilogy or 4, maybe even more. So that's no good to me. Split Infinity is the first of a trilogy, I think, but it's meant to be good. Sort of half fantasy, half science fiction. Ogre. That looks like out and out fantasy to me. And then maybe book 1 of Cluster. So how many have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got to pull Veil of the Vole out as well. First of a new Xanth trilogy. So the Xanth books are supposed to be all right, but I don't know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's see what the Dice of Destiny have in store for Piers Anthony. 5. Okay, so it's not Ox or Tarot or Veil of the Vole or Ogre or the Vicinity Cluster. It is Triple Détente. Philip Jose Farmer is next. I have a bunch by him. I've only read 1. I've read To Your Scattered Bodies Go. So let's see. We could go with Strange Relations, which is short stories, kinky sex with aliens. And then what about, which is the first? Yeah, that's the first volume in the World of the Tears. Okay, so that's 2. And then Wind Whales of Ishmael, possibly. Dayworld I would like to read. And then, which is the second of the Fabulous Riverboat? Is that the second one? Yeah, the Fabulous Riverboat's the second one in the Riverworld series. So that's, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What about Traitor to the Living? And let's see, Maker of Universes. So that can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we just need those 6. Dice of Destiny for Philip Jose Farmer. 4. So it's not Strange Relations or Maker of Universes or The Fabulous Riverboat or Maker of Universes. Oh, I've got 2 copies of that. That can go on the duplicates pile. So that's a no regrets bit of space. And then but it is The Wind Wails of Ishmael, which is a sequel to Moby Dick, which sounds a bit ridiculous to me, but okay. What else we got here? Taking up room. Harry Harrison. So I have read one Harry Harrison book. I read Make Room, which was pretty good, actually, I must say. I enjoyed it. But let's see what else he has to offer. Stainless Steel Rat, of course. I should probably have Death World. Captive Universe is his generation ship tale. I wouldn't mind reading that, actually. Transatlantic Tunnel. Hurrah. Which I think is like an alternate universe. So how many is that? That's 4. About Homeworld and Planet of the Damned, because it's got a cool cover. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dice of Destiny for Harry Harrison. Number 6. So it's not Homeworld or Planet of the Damned or The Stainless Steel Rat or Death World or Transatlantic Tunnel Hurrah, but it is Captive Universe, which is a generation ship tale. All right, I think we're making good progress. Robert Heinlein is another person occupying a lot of space, and I've only read one of his books, and that's Starship Troopers. And I hear he's a kind of game of two halves. His early stuff, I've read 2. I've read Orphans in the Skies, or Orphans of the Sky as well, which I did enjoy. But I hear his later stuff is pretty patchy. So I'm probably going to err on the side of the older stuff, and then just take a view on the later stuff at another point. So have Spacesuit Will Travel, that's one of his juveniles that I've heard a lot about. Farmer in the Sky, how about that? Starman Jones, Between Planets, that's another one of his juveniles, I think. Podcane of Mars. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. I've read that one. What about Double Star? So, Have Spacesuit Will Travel, Double Star, Farmer in the Sky, Podcane of Mars, Starman Jones, and Between Planets. Let's see how we get on with those. Dice of Destiny for Robert Heinlein. Number 5. It's not Have Spacesuit Will Travel, it's not Double Star or Farmer in the Sky or Podcane of Mars or Between Planets, but it is Starman Jones, appropriately enough. And I think we could apply much the same logic to A. Van Vogt. I have only read one. That was Voyage of the Space Beagle, which I did enjoy, but I've got all of that is A. Van Vogt near enough. So there's quite a lot of shelf space that they're taking up. And he may or may not be the classic that everyone says he is, but does he deserve that much shelf space? So let's see, what should I read? I'm not sure which of the Null books is first. I think it's The World of Null, but I'm not 100% sure. But if it's not that, I'll choose the right one. Planets for Sale, and then Slan I'd like to read. What about the Weapon Shops of Isha? War Against the Rull, that's another familiar title. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Earth's Last Fortress. And what about Empire of the Atom? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Dice of Destiny for A. Van Vogt. Number 4. So it is not Null 3 or World of Null. It's not Planets for Sale or Empire of the Atom or Earth's Last Fortress or Weapon Shops of Isha, but it is Slan. Shelf 40. Okay, this is shelf 40, so there's a bunch of things up here. So Marcher I would like to read, and then I could go with any of these. Ian MacDonald, actually, so any of those 3. And The Wilding is his most recent one. Anvil of Stars is the sequel to Forge of God, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, happy days, that's plenty. I've read the rest of the shelf anyway, pretty much. Let's see what the Dice of Destiny have to say. Dice of Destiny for shelf 40. Number 1. So it is not Anvil of Stars or The Wilding or Brazil or Dervish House or Cyber Bad Days, but it is Chris Beckett's Marcher. I think we're only going to choose, let's see, 4. I think this time, it's 4 shelves this way. 16. So this is shelf 16, and there are many delights on this shelf. I'll move Neil Asher for a moment and let's see what's behind him. Vanished Birds, which I heard someone describe as the vanished turds. They didn't enjoy it at all, but other people have said that they enjoyed it. This one's on the 101 best novels list, and this one's been recommended. I could go cheeky Pavane. This is a proof copy, but if that comes up, I'll read my other copy. And then we've got some novellas. Oh, The Push. That's a Dave Hutchinson. So many's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I think I would like to have a go with Martin McGuinness, Gathering Evidence. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's see what we get. Dice of Destiny for shelf 16. Number 5. So it's not The Vanished Birds, nor is it My Dirty Little Book of Stolen Time, nor is it Little Eyes or Pavane or Gathering Evidence, but it is The Push, which is a nice little sort of space opera novella from Dave Hutchinson. 20. So this is shelf 20, and once again there are many delights here. So I could read The Magic Paw Chronicles, which is the second, it's a short story collection if I remember rightly. It's following Lord Valentine's Castle. I could go with another Silverberg at Winter's End. Now then, I'd really like to read Golden Witchbreed. And I keep talking about Shield's Ladder, but I've not actually read it, so that should probably come out of there. It's a bit intimidating. Somebody's that 4. We could go with The Peripheral by Gibson. I quite enjoyed the TV show. I don't know how similar it is to the book. And then Star of Gypsies. How about that? So that's 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dice of Destiny for shelf 20. Number 5. Magic Paw Chronicles. It's not that. It's not Robert Silverberg or The Peripheral or, unfortunately, Mary Gentle. But it is Shield's Ladder. 52. This is shelf 52. It's a little bit gloomy here, but I think there are a bunch of things I would like to read on here. So let's see. Saturn Rook is a Robert L. Forward book. Doggerland, I'd like to. Oh, Beggars in Spain as well. Look at that. And The Carpet Makers. I didn't quite make that last month, but it might find a spot in April. So that's 4 straight off. I could go with Golden Sun. That's the second in the Red Rising series. What about Count Zero? I think that's the second one after Neuromancer of the Sprawl trilogy. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Dice of Destiny for shelf 52. Number 4. So it's not Golden Sun or Count Zero or Saturn Rook or Doggerland or Beggars in Spain, but it is The Carpet Makers Gets Its Second Chance in the Sun. Right, let's take a look at the ones that I picked, and in no particular order. They are The Carpet Makers by, I always forget his name, Andreas Eschbach. This is a book that I had on my TBR pile for February, I think it was, and I just ran out of time, I didn't quite get to it, so I was really pleased when this came up for April's, and I'll make sure this is one of the first books that I read in a month, so I'll definitely get to it in the coming month. So this is a slightly mad premise, I think. There are these carpet makers who tie intricate knots to form carpets for the court of the emperor, and those are made out of the hair of their wives and daughters, and they're so detailed and fragile that each carpet maker finishes only one single carpet in his entire lifetime. It's a hereditary art passed from father to son, and then one day the empire of the god emperor vanishes and strangers begin to arrive from the stars to follow the trace of the hair carpets. What these strangers discover is beyond all belief, more than anything they could have ever imagined. So that I hear really, really good things about this book, so I'm very intrigued to read that one. And then I don't know if this is a good test for Philip Jose Farmer, but there you go. Wind Whales of Ishmael, which is supposedly a sequel to Moby Dick, or a rather odd one, obviously. So I don't know. Like I said in the earlier section, I've got quite a bit of Philip Jose Farmer, and I've only read one, so it's a bit cheeky of me to get rid of them all if if I haven't tried at least one or two more. So we'll give this one a go and see how it is. I suspect it's probably not. See, The Wind Whales of Ishmael is a startlingly imaginative tale of a weird nightmare world from one of America's foremost science fiction writers. Okay, well, I guess we'll see. And I'm slightly more keen to read this one. I think A. Van Vogt Slan, one of his better known books and more acclaimed books, I think. If I remember rightly, super race. The Slans are a super race, and fans are Slans, remember. Capable of mind reading and equipped with bodies many times more resistant to fatigue than ordinary mortals. But they live in constant fear of discovery, for the rewards are great if anyone should capture a Slan, dead or alive. And then we've got Heinlein Starman Jones with I've forgotten there was a bit of kind of biro mark on the front there, but never mind. And I think I'm right in saying this is one of his juveniles. Let's see, stowed away aboard an intergalactic spacecraft. Max Jones, which, if I'm right, will be a sort of youngish lad, was unwittingly destined for disaster. And then Harry Harrison, I do know a little bit about this one. Captain of the Universe, it's a generation ship tale, and if I remember rightly, there are Incas involved, and they've all completely lost the notion that they might be on a generation ship. But there's a rationale for that, I think, which becomes clear as the book progresses. So I am looking forward to that one. Piers Anthony, this again might not be a very good test. It might be a poor choice. We'll see how we go. If the mood takes me, I might arbitrarily choose to pick a different one off the shelf. So the dice might not have been very kind to me. I'll do a bit of research and see. Split Infinity is one I probably would rather read, I think. But then that's the first of at least 3 books. And I've only got the first one, so I don't know if there's much point to that, but we'll see. What's this one called? Triple Détente. Seems to involve aliens. Then Paul Anderson, he of Tau Zero, the Avatar. I don't think it's anything to do with the movie. In fact, I'm certain it isn't. Yeah, some kind of nightmare homecoming of the spaceship Emissary, returning to Earth following a successful voyage of discovery. For on Earth, the spaceship and her alien cargo are impounded, and the crew are forbidden to continue their exploration. La 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 la. And so there's a rescue mission sent from afar. And Joe Pornell, no less, says it's a marvellous book. All right, well, we shall see. And then we've got, I'm slightly intimidated by this, Greg Egan's Shield's Ladder, which is kind of quantum mechanics in book form, I believe, or maybe it's mathematics. I think it's quantum graph theory or something mad like that. Yeah, sort of a rapidly expanding new form of vacuum, which is gradually enveloping the known galaxy and in danger of completely changing reality for everyone. And there's a kind of dilemma about whether to let it do that and carry on or to take steps. Next is a novella by Dave Hutchinson, author of the Europe in Autumn and following books, which is really good, and a few other things too. And I think this is like a colony tale. I think I described it as space opera. I'm not sure it is. Neil Hansen answers a call to return to Reeth, a colony world he helped to establish many, many years ago and never intended to see again. A world haunted by painful memories and now threatened by a secret from his past, which even he didn't know was there. Hansen is faced with an impossible challenge and seems destined to be either the young world's saviour or its destroyer. So that's a slender book. It's a novella. I would have thought less than 100 pages. Less than 100. And that's from Newcom Press, and very nice it is too. And I think I'm right in saying that Dave sent this one to me himself, and it is signed by both him and Eric Brown, who's the illustrator. No, he's not. He's not the illustrator. He'll have done the intro. Yeah, introduction. Of course, he's not the illustrator. He's an author. And then finally is Chris Beckett's Marcher, which is a book I've been meaning to read for a while now. And I think it's one of his earlier books. Again, it's a Newcom Press edition, and it will be signed and limited. Yeah, one of number 76 out of 100 copies. And this is a tale of parallel universes, a kind of refugees or travellers from parallel universes and a sort of immigration officer. And with a difference, the migrants he deals with don't come from other countries, but from other universes. Known as shifters, they materialise from parallel timelines, bringing with them a mysterious drug called Slip, which breaks down the boundary between what is and what might have been, and offers the desperate and the dispossessed the tantalising possibility of escape. I am very much looking forward to. I've enjoyed reading Chris Beckett's work over the last year or two. So that's another one to add to my read pile. And I might have time for more books than that. But as regular viewers will know, I've got this stupid race in a week's time, which is going to take a bunch of time out that I won't be able to use for physical book reading, and I'm going to be pretty exhausted for a few days afterwards. So I probably won't be reading much. I will have the opportunity to read some audiobooks, but I'm not going to specify what those are at this point. And some of those books are quite slender, though, so I'm hoping to plough through those pretty fast. And if I find I've got more time, then obviously I'll grab another book or two off my shelves. That's everything. Is there anything that you've already picked out for April? Do let me know in the comments down below. But as always, thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye for now.